Hello, welcome to this talk about how we started the transformation of Norway's biggest governmental agency. We call it from 4 releases a year to once every other minute. My name is Audun and this is Truls. We're going to give you some insight into our transformation, but first we want to show you some data.
And let's start with Accelerate, perhaps the most important book for this story. Accelerate identifies deployment frequency as one of the 4 key metrics that indicate the performance of a software development team. And we have searched for and also found data from the last 12 years with just enough resolution, allowing us to plot the average number of deploys to production per week, per year. And here it is. As you can see, the change is pretty big. Before 2016, NAV used to take pride in arranging 4 coordinated massive releases per year. But something changed in 2016 that accelerated into 2019, and as of today, this number is over 1,300 per week. This translates to once every other minute of a working week, at least here in Norway.
But when we dug deeper into the numbers, we found something strange. The last graph that Truls showed us was like a steady increase per year. But when we changed the resolution to weekly, we saw that before week 32 in 2019, we had a few hundred deploys every week, and then we had a little drop in the summer holidays. And then straight after the summer holidays, we went from a few hundred to more than 1,000. This was kind of a mystery to us. Why did this happen? And in this talk, we're going to show you what happened to explain this sudden jump of deployment frequency.
But let 2019 remain a mystery for now. Let's turn to 2016, where the change began. And to understand how, and not to forget why, this change started, we need to go further back in time to start this story, to the very start of NAV, and even a bit before that. In 2006, our politicians in Norway decided to create an interconnected super agency with 3 already huge existing agencies. We combined the service for providing benefits with the service for helping people get back to work and the social service. And the vision was to create an agency that gave its users, that is all Norwegian citizens really, a unified welfare experience.
NAV is actually a Norwegian word that means the central part of the wheel. And this is a good description. NAV is the center of the Norwegian welfare state, and we want to support a lot of the cases of a welfare state with just NAV. The size of NAV is actually quite unique. We pay out about 1/3 of Norway's national budget every year. Most of this is in age-related pensions, but we also have other benefits. If you compare this to other countries, I've seen somewhere that NAV does the job of something like 30 different agencies in the US, for instance. So we have centralized a lot, and we put a lot of functionality into one big system.
And the political ambitions were high for NAV as an agency, but sadly though, those ambitions was not followed by equally high ambitions for the IT systems behind this new super agency. So NAV was born with 2 separate legacy monoliths. Both of them was absolutely essential for the welfare state to function. But being one organization now, we needed to make those monoliths communicate in some way. And making changes in one monolith is difficult enough, but making coordinated changes in 2 interconnected monoliths, that's nearly impossible. And this made for a large organization not optimized for change at all, and we compensated with lots of change management. And the very first thing that NAV did as a new agency, well, that was building yet another monolith. This time a new pension system. And having no in-house developers at all, this new system was built entirely by consultants.
And of course, we had the applications outside the big monoliths as well. We had task management for caseworkers, systems for handling or showing applications to people, and an application platform. But almost all of this was built by consultants. So it was really difficult for us to take ownership of our own technical direction. We basically had, as an agency, 19,000 employees, and just the IT department was almost 1,000 people, but we have no developers ourselves. So we decided to start insourcing.
And that started in 2016, and we got a new CTO. His name is Torbjørn Larsen, and he started off with a clear vision of what NAV could be and what NAV should be. And he told that story again and again, both high and low in the organization and outside the organization. In retrospect, he checked off all the boxes for what transformational leadership is all about. And fundamental in this story was the need to reclaim technical ownership of our own systems. That was the very same systems that had been built and maintained by consultants for the last 15 years.
So reclaiming technical ownership was a huge task. Truls and I was some of the first developers hired, and a lot of the time in the first few years was just getting more people in and making sure that they were of the required quality. And everybody, of course, wants to hire the best developers. So it isn't an easy process. We now have almost 200 developers. If you count the data engineers as well, we have 300. And we have both senior people, and we are starting to take more people straight out of university as well. So now we have the capabilities to build and maintain and shape our own systems. So now we set the scene. We told you a little bit about what NAV is and our history. Now we want to talk through 3 different topics for you. We want to talk about platform, sustainability, and culture. And we're going to show you how all of these are connected, and you need to work on all of them to succeed.
So let's start talking about platforms.